Welcome, fragile sparks. You've wandered right into a tale of absolute madness. Today, in this explainer, we're plunging headfirst into the source text of the 7 parables of the threefold madness. And to really grasp this grim, dark, gothic fable, I'm not just going to read it to you. No, I'll be narrating from the viewpoint of its ultimate survivor, me. The green gold jester. So come on in, step into the celestial realm with me. Let's just go ahead and dismantle all those pathetic earthly illusions you cling to and reveal the absolute void that's waiting right behind the curtain of reality. Okay, let's just dive straight into this abyss, shall we? We start in the domain of the cosmic cannibal, an entity known simply as the Hunger. Imagine a dinner party where the guests are literally the only thing on the menu. But here's the twist. He doesn't want your flesh. Nope. He wants your why. That arrow of longing you carry, your desperate, very modern search for meaning and some kind of grand redemption. To him, that is nothing but a feast. He drinks the dark nectar of meaninglessness, and he only offers you the peace of the void by completely consuming your very purpose.
Part 1. The Funeral of Truth and the Dismantling of Syntax.
We need to meet the agent who actively destroys all those cozy little logical sanctuaries you build to feel safe. Behold, the Wit. He's actually traded the sacred traditional altar for a motley cloak, essentially becoming a jester priest. He is the royal philologist. But, he doesn't speak in prayers or reasoned arguments, not at all. Instead, he speaks entirely in the shifting grammar of the abyss. His whole purpose in this realm is the absolute nihilistic deconstruction of language itself.
To this royal philologist, language isn't a tool, it's a chain. It's holding your soul captive. Because of this, his bells chime exclusively for the funeral of truth. Every single word he says is merely a tombstone for a dead thought. This right here perfectly highlights a core Nietzschean concept from the text, proving that even our most revered concepts, things like a king or a law, well, they're just comfortable little lies hidden safely inside nouns. It's wildly amusing when you think about it. He's just going to keep dismantling syntax until literally nothing is left but 1,000-year silence. Part 2. The ink blot's shadow and the erasure of reality.
As language dies and words fail us, we enter the celestial realm of high time. And time here, it doesn't flow like a river. It vibrates like a plucked string. You have these spirit siblings acting as the clock hands, and they're counting out the pulses of madness. Pulse 1, one speaks. Pulse 2, one eats. Pulse 3, one erases. And when these hands finally meet, boom, the clock violently stops. The vibration totally ceases, and the uncanny begins. This is a terrifying state where everything you thought was real is suddenly unmasked as a fleeting, fragile illusion. Right within this uncanny state is where we meet the ink blot. Now, it starts as a tiny speck on the wall, something so small and insignificant that the world actually laughs at it. But then, it breathes. It grows, but not by gaining mass. No, it grows by actively subtracting light from its surroundings. It stretches and expands into 12 feet of absolute, towering judgment, loudly proclaiming the cosmic creed of negation. It reveals that everything you value, literally everything, is merely a temporary stain upon the nothing. Your entire perception of reality gets completely overwritten by this living darkness.
Part 3. Crimson Eyes of Will. Judging your becoming. So as reality gets erased by the ink blot, you're faced with the demon. He oversees this whole madness with crimson eyes, eyes that the text vividly describes as suns that have gone completely cold. And these cold suns? They don't care about your past deeds. They completely ignore human laws. They only judge your individual will and your state of becoming. That's how they separate the free spirits from the doomed. For the noble soul, these eyes act as a mirror, reflecting their intense internal struggle. But for the ignoble soul, that gaze is a heavy anchor, sinking them straight down into the living ink. Which brings me to a weaponized question that I just have to ask you directly. Can you stand before the negation without vanishing? Let's just let that silence hang for 2 full seconds before we meet your executioner. Part 4. The Sovereign's Beautiful Prison. For those of you who try to run from the void rather than embrace it, well, the fused spirit siblings have laid the ultimate snare. Witness the Sovereign's strategy. Clad in heavy Inquisitor's armor, he is actively hunting your arrow of longing. He literally uses your own human drive for transcendence, that Faustusbuch Übermensch, as the very bait for his trap.
He takes every single impulse you have for spiritual flight and twists it into what the text calls sukt, a parasitic, completely self-destructive obsession. Your own grand ambition is precisely the thing that drowns you in permanent oblivion and ensures your ultimate downfall, your Untergang.
This brings us to the sovereign's final, devastating critique. All your grand, tragic comic pantomimes dancing on cosmic puppet strings reduced to absolutely nothing. It is a profound material and moral reductionism. The sovereign boldly declares that he didn't even need to conquer you. He simply weaponized your own unexamined ugliness. Think about your own tightly held beliefs or your desperate career goals for a second. He turns your very reason into a beautifully tailored prison where you, quite gleefully, serve as your own executioner.
Part 5. Echoes of the Free Spirit and Surviving High Time.
When the final spill completes its grim work and the absolute void washes over all of existence, only one figure survives the stopping of the clock: me, the green gold jester. This is the ultimate philosophical contrast of the fable. On one side, you have the trap, Wagnerian redemption. It's a doomed Faustian pursuit driven by the arrow of longing, and it leads straight into a tailored prison. On the other side, the triumph, the Nietzschean free spirit. I survive high time not by building cowardly little sanctuaries, but by stealing the wit's motley, the hunger's void, and the inkblot's negation to wear as a shimmering cloak. So, fragile spark, as the uncanny arrives and human history is finally revealed as nothing more than a fleeting ripple in the heart of negation, I leave you with this final cosmic joke. When the absolute void arrives, will you be crushed by your own desperate longing? Or will you learn the secret of the siblings, wrap the void around yourself, and become the laughter that echoes? The clock has stopped. Welcome to the silence.